Hey, welcome back, everybody. So here's the funny thing. Wednesday was a crazy day. It was like going to Vegas, red or black, man. Just roll the dice. And here's the funny thing. Actually, the Feds, well, their favorite color is plaid. For those of you who don't, plaid has a lot of different colors to it. So there was kind of non-committal, except for they kept with the mantra, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to reduce rates 3 times this year. They just don't know when. And it's kind of like, well, tomorrow, mañana, tomorrow, okay, tomorrow. And it's funny because actually, nicely, they did not scare the crap out of the market. So actually, rates stayed pretty even keel. They bopped down a little bit. They bopped back up. They came back down again. And all things considered, the stock market really liked what they had to say because, well, everybody was kind of on pins and needles with the new reports that were coming out. But here's the thing, right? When we take a look at what are they wanting, right? The committee wants to have a 2% inflation rate over the long run. They want unemployment down at a lower level. They absolutely want to make sure that they see this as a long-term thing. And again, they're kind of hinting that, down the road, we'll consider some rate cuts. But, when the inflation rate actually picked up a little bit more than what they'd expected, naturally, they didn't want to do a rate cut, unfortunately. The however is that only affects the commercial side. The good news is they didn't scare the market to death, and we saw some favorable rates. Lawrence Yun at the National Association of Realtors, he is agreeing with us, or we agree with him, or vice versa. We're in a collective mind agreement that mortgage rates will, continue to average about 6.5% throughout the year. Now, that's really important because even though we've been hitting up a little bit, we hit down a little bit, right about average will be 6.5%. Again, like we predicted last year, this is not going to be a year where we're going to see a dive down in rates at all. I do see some improvement towards the end of the year. We did say we would hit into the mid 6s in Q1 and would carry into the first part of Q2, first quarter, second quarter. And we've got that prediction right, which is super cool because, well, we like to be accurate. Anyways, moving on. When we talk about some of the other feedback that's out there, if we open this back up again, take a look at this. So new listings on our running 7-day average were 1,121 homes that came on market. Pended, however, 1,299. And Fridays are always super, super aggressive when sellers coming on market. So we're seeing that bump up because actually we're about 750 home average new coming on market with about 1,200 homes, 1,300 homes going off. And so buyers are still absolutely out there. Well-priced homes are definitely going off market within the first 7 days. If your home is not going off market in the first 7 days, you're probably about 2 to 3% overpriced, and the market clearly knows that. And because we're seeing a lot of activity out there, some sellers are being a little bit more aggressive than they should be, but we'll see. Who knows? I was wrong once, I think, last year, maybe. Anyway, moving on. When we talk about what's going on in the market, hey, you know what? Remember to, when you come to us and you really want, again, solid information, just tell us. Like the video. Please let us know that it's good. And then it shares it with other people who are looking for solid information. There's no selling here. If you like super accurate information, awesome. Let us know. Subscribe. This is not a paid channel. This is free, and this is impromptu. There is no script. I prepare information and deliver it consistently every week based on the metrics that you see. And we're pretty darn accurate. All right. Freddie Mac. Freddie, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, your big quote-unquote lenders, USDA, kind of the little stepchild there. That's for urban properties and whatnot. When we take a look at their running average, okay, which they consistently report, you can see that it has been heading in an upward trend. Completely expected. We will probably see a little bit of a lowering trend next week as we move into some more what they would consider more stable waters. Because remember, mortgage rates are publicly traded. It goes up and down with the stock market. I knew I could get it out. All right. So when we take a look at the titles or the headlines of the week, existing homes shoot higher, inventory also improves. 100% accurate. That's a national thing. That is even local here. We are continuing to see that, and we're going to show you some metrics here that's going to show you that. And then inventory, well, we have been seeing more homes. It is a spring market. We're about half the inventory, but still we're there. Builder confidence has been improving. And of course, then we're seeing some more activity with new construction. At volume, because we saw, rates into the high sixes, low sevens, we actually saw a little bit of pullback on that, which is, again, normal. And then, of course, the Feds hold steady, but still promise that there's going to be a rate cut later this year. Who knows when it'll be? Possibly in June. Again, they just need to see that inflation rate come down before they start, the beginning of some of those commercial lending rate drops. It's what the Fed rate actually controls your car loan interest rates, your credit cards, what banks lend to on a day-to-day basis, your home equity line of credit or a HELOC, things like that, commercial business loans. And those are the folks that are in a little wee bit of trouble. Anyway, all right, moving on. Okay, let's take a look at the chart that shows us average what is on market and average what is being sold. Super important metric as we watch this each week because we also get to see what is trending in real time, okay? So when we take a look and we blow this bad boy up, okay, so we can see that the top line says average price, and you can see where I'm going, it's the same month last year. You can see that we're down 1.8%, which is also our year to date, but we're actually $9,000 higher as far as active average homes for sale. So last week we were at what? A million, gosh, what was it? 1,015, 1,017 last year. Last year or last week, I should say. And this week we're up about $9,000. The important one, the average sold price is actually up $5,000 from last week to 9.5%. When we take a look at month over month, 23 over 24, we're almost up 12.5%. That's a big deal. And the reason that that's a big deal is because we're seeing that upward trend. Even though interest rates are, been leveling out, and there's been that concern about, with interest rates, are buyers really going to buy? And the answer is, yeah, they're clearly proving it, and we're seeing the seasonal incremental improvement. All right, let's move on. Take a look at what the true numbers are of what we're seeing throughout the Northwest MLS. So the column on the right, you can see the pendant where I have the big red arrow. Year over year, we are 0.3% above, or just a couple of homes. Not much, right? All right. Even month over month of the same 2023 versus 2024, you can see we're up 11.2%. Even though solds consistently are a little bit less than where they were at last year, and even the same month, our numbers are actually starting to catch up, and that is super cool. The really important thing to take a look at here is the inventory or the homes available, which is at about just shy of 7,000. We should be at 15,000 homes. So we still have a massive inventory shortage. Super important to keep in mind, all right? Because as homes are coming on, if you are well priced, man, you're getting tons and tons and tons of activity. One of our team members, Jeff, he was out at a home that we listed, and he just had gobs of activity, which is awesome, right? Because on average, it takes about, now pay attention here, takes about 20 buyers to come through a home to trigger an offer. That's an important metric to keep in mind. So if you're overpriced and you are not bringing people into your home, it's really hard to trigger that offer based on those metrics. Keep that in mind. If you have questions, feel free, post them down below. Be free to answer those. All right. Let's take a look at new construction, who, like last week, absolutely did it again. So let's take a look at the same month, 2023 versus 2024, center column there. Look, we have about 156 homes less on market than we had last year, but we've only sold 108 less for the same month and only 13 less pended. Now, the two go hand in hand when we talk about actual inventory available versus what can be sold. Plus, new construction values, home sales are actually increasing, and they're seeing a few less incentives. So they're starting to balance that out. In fact, year over year, we're doing super well as far as pended and sold in the new construction arena. As builder confidence continues to improve, you will start to see less and less incentives being offered. So make sure that if you are working with a real estate broker, that they know how to work with and negotiate with builders on plats. Super important. Anyway, moving on. All right, let's take a look at the foreclosures. All right. I did not do the wall of shame this week. It just seems there was just not much reason. We just will adjust numbers, in our own database and the actual recording that we do for some of the banks. But when we take a look at this, even still with some homes like 6 that are not foreclosures that do belong on the wall of shame, our actual number of available inventory is actually only 59. Last year was 54. That's peanuts. You can see that our numbers are super low, even though we are in a positive, year over year. Everything is in the positive, but the active, the new on market, and the sold, actually, those numbers have dropped down, and our pended are up just a tad bit. So look, at the end of the day, keep in mind, foreclosures are not a great investment because we just don't have the volume. We don't have enough inventory, and banks put them on the market after paint, carpet, and vinyl and put them on for market value, and they get their price, as they should, right? They're in the business not to lose money, but to make money. Okay, well, that's what they're doing. There are other alternatives to find really great opportunities to keep that in mind. Now, if you have any questions about that, post them down below, give me a call, whatever you want to do. Let us know. We'll answer you. We normally get back to you in about 30 minutes. And, of course, hang on. Let's get to it. Here it is. Whoop, that didn't work. Remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure that you share this with somebody that you know. Again, we do have a lot of fun on this channel. It is very impromptu, and I really enjoy doing these. Hope you find this information very valuable and informative. If you have any questions, again, reach out to us. There's no selling. We're not gonna stalk you or anything. Feel free to ask your question, and we'll answer it for you. In the meantime, it's a little wet outside. Stay dry. If you have anything planned for this weekend, share it. In the meantime, have a beautiful day, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.